is going to be insane. Come on, over here, Ernie. Over here, over here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and today is Tuesday, and we are going to be testing some subwoofers. Yes, I know. Live demonstrations. My favorite part of a live type of show is demonstrating something. Kicker Unmasked did it first. Well, we do it here too. And we also do the Kicker Unmasked giveaway. Kicker.com/UMweekly. If you didn't know, go check it out. You might win some cool swag and keep Sandy busy. But without further ado, let's kick off the intro. Get that popcorn ready, and I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Maybe we should turn it up a little bit, huh? I think we're out of gain. We are out of gain. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And yeah, do not forget to enter the giveaway. We got Kicker Comp Golds. Love you guys. Brody Man! Thanks for tuning in, man.
Livin Loud Swag.
You know, to turn the gain down is probably the hardest thing in my mind, is to turn down the volume in any which way. Sometimes, you know, when you're doing a live stream and you got Kyle with, you know, I don't know, 40 freaking kickers in his car going, it's kind of hard to hear anything. So yeah, I did tell him to turn the gain down just a little bit. If it wasn't for all that wasted information, it would have been fine. But thanks for tuning in, Shannon, and all you guys. Man, you guys are awesome. Donald Logan, let's go. Tonight's show is going to be awesome. I thought, man, you know what? Let's talk about subwoofer sizes. And instead of just talking about it, we're going to test some stuff too. It's going to be very interesting. Chad, Cookie Monster's getting it. Right now, he's off work tonight. He is just chilling there. No foot massage tonight because over on the other side of the studio, we got a lot going on, and I'm actually using that amplifier to test the 3 kicker gold letters, man. These things are awesome. If you haven't got one, try to get one before they're all gone. They don't have them at kicker.com anymore, but I'm sure they're still floating around like they usually do for some time. They are awesome subs and a nod to just, the original, the gold letter. This one's sitting over here behind me, and I do want to test that one eventually. We're going to get it there. We're going to get it, Mike. Thank you for tuning in, Chad. Appreciate you. Kyle, question, Andy, think you'll win our matchup on fantasy football next week? Probably not. And you know what? I am never helping Bubba again for fantasy football because he's got the top-ranked team, and he just beat me this week. And, hey, good job, Bubba. I love you. And, but yes, I don't know, man. We'll see. We will see. Thanks for tuning in, and all you guys with the Fantasy Football League with the Livin Loud with Andy edition, thanks for joining and just we have fun every year. Oh, would you look at that? Cornuts gifting memberships.
Hitting hard. Yeah, yeah. Turned down for what? Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you. And he gifted one to Eric H. Or I think that's Eric N. Eric H. Either way, man, that is awesome. And thank you, Cornut. Appreciate you tuning in and supporting the channel. Man, you are awesome. Love you, Cornut. Appreciate you, buddy. Frank the Tank. Appreciate you hanging out, man. And yeah, speaking of 50% off discount codes, Frank got one, and you guys are going to be able to get one tonight as well. Kicker.com/UMweekly, and I think I dropped it in the beginning. I got it pinned in there. I'll drop it again just because I like pressing buttons, and put that into the chat. Go enter the giveaway if you haven't already. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Frank. Man, you guys are awesome. BT! Oh, look at that for the green team.
Green team.
Thank you so much, Brian. How would you look at that?
Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
You know, and we're going to be looking at these speakers flexing tonight, and we're going to be talking about just pretty much everything of, does it really matter what size they are? I know there's a lot of factors involved, but I do like to test certain things because they are cool to see in action. You know, one versus the other. Not everybody goes out and buys a 10, a 12, a 15 of the same woofer. I did, and I'm going to test them. And it's not super scientific, but it's still something to take note for sure. And hey, maybe it might work better for you with just the different size subwoofer compared to whatever. We got a lot to talk about, but we got to do the housekeeping and make sure everybody gets their popcorn ready, the show going. And BT, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome, man. Brian Townsend. That's weird. That's popping up. Magoo Designs Cornell on YouTube donated. What the heck? What the heck? Would you look at that? What's a Magoo Design? That was right before SDK. SDK bought out Magoo Designs. That is a true fact there. Why is that popping up everywhere? What? That's so weird. I gotta turn that off. That's okay. As long as it should work perfectly fine on your guys' end. Thank you for just being understanding. Oh, man, always just shaking off the rust. We didn't go live, and it's like, boom, we got to have a good show for Tuesday, and that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Thank you for tuning in, Dusty. Appreciate that you're here. And if it doesn't matter, well, you have to get a bigger amp. You know, I think it does. I mean, I like the 18s, you know, but can you do the same with a smaller driver? Well, we're going to get into that too. Thank you, CM. Appreciate you tuning in. And Uncle Bobby B all up in the place.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for tuning in, Uncle Bobby B and CAE. What's up? Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate all that you do, man, and keep it up. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Awesome guy. Awesome guy. Okay, cool. So, Jacob, thank you, man. Appreciate you. You know, I try my best. And I do hang out in here a lot. A little bit too much. I do love it. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you. All right. A deer. Oh, it's a deer just using my wife's account. Oh, would you look at that? I'm going to start commenting on Kicker's thing with Kayla's account. Just watch out. Watch out. Kicking it with Kayla, I'm telling you. Thanks for tuning in, Mike. Annusation. Appreciate you, man. Sup, people? Yes. All right, cool. So, now, I have a few things I want to go over too. I have a little cheat sheet. This is kind of a lot when you're comparing subwoofer sizes. I feel like it can get pretty hairy pretty fast. I love Parker, and he does all types of just subwoofer comparison videos of power and SPL and power handling. And I feel like what we're going to do tonight is a little bit different, where we're going to be talking about the sizes. Yes, power is a factor in TS specs and enclosures, and we're going to get into that, and excursion and capabilities, and it's not the 90s anymore. There's a lot of different types of woofers. It's not just by size, but we're going to be talking about the same woofer line, but different sizes and how they stack up. And I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool stuff. Like I showed Kayla, she's like, wow, that's awesome. I'm like, I know, isn't it? It's science. I love it. I truly do. And I just thought about it in a dream. I'm like, you know what? Let me try it. And I tried it. I'm like, wow, it actually works. So we're going to do that and a few other things as well. All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in, VCLTV. Appreciate ya. What is up, y'all? And we got Ashy. Hey, fam. Hey, Andy. I'm watching, but I have family at my place. We'll turn up the gain so they can hear me. Appreciate you, Ashy family. And Ashy, Jeff Wallace gifted. Would you look at that?
Green team.
Thank you, Jeff Wallace, for gifting a membership. Appreciate you, man. And Cheryl Namath became a member. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? And Magoo Designs keeps going. I mean, that kind of works, but sure thing. Man, appreciate you, Jeff Wallace. Another member for the Green Team. We're up to 111 members. If you see it on the bottom right screen, that is awesome. You guys are so cool for just being part of the Green Team and the YouTube community. That's what it is. Appreciate you guys. All right, CAE's got a comment here. Most cone area you can get using the airspace you have with enough power to reproduce the notes with those woofers. I know, and that's the thing too. Do you got enough space for the bass that you're going to put in? Or maybe is it better to run a smaller subwoofer that has more excursion? And we're going to get all into that because that's what I'm saying. It's not the 90s anymore where there's these woofers that have so much throw, but then to have all that throw, you also might be giving something up to, and that might be a little bit with efficiency and just the tonality of the driver. It's a heavier driver, and it's going to be harder to control. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I do want to show you guys something really, really neat. Thank you for tuning in, CAE, Dave Monroe, man, you guys are all in here tonight. Appreciate you. Hi, guys. What's up, Andy? And we got a subscriber, Jake Bobero. Thank you for subscribing. You guys are awesome. Appreciate that everyone is here tonight. And again, do not forget to enter the giveaway, kicker.com/UMweekly, and smash the like. Thank you, CAE. Appreciate you, man. And yes, hit the like. We got 23 on YouTube. Likes. Appreciate you guys. 47 on YouTube. Would you look at that? And Budget Audio with Jay is here, man. We got a full house tonight. I missed you guys. Would you look at that? He said, you're welcome for that gifted membership. Stuart, what is up? Appreciate you as well, man. Hope you're doing okay and everyone's healthy at home and everyone just tuned in tonight. I hope everyone is having a good week. And fall is here, but it's still pretty hot. I was doing a little bit with Cookie Monster, getting ready for a competition. Yeah, it's not an SPL competition, but it's a little bit something else. And you're going to find out Sunday. It's going to be awesome. How to get that ready. Appreciate you guys so much. Everyone saying hello to Budget Audio with Jay and Chad. Thank you for hanging out. It's going well, man. Again, that's what I was doing today for about 2 hours. Finding some good songs. And competing in a way of more of a, does it sound good? And I don't want to give too much away. There's some people local watching. I'm coming just, oh man, Andy's here. What? Except you guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. Cookie Monster giveaway. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Bassatronics, I'm incognito. Don't mind me. I love the smell of cookies. Well, we got lots of cookies here. Let's get to the clipping of the cookies. Let's get to it. Thanks for tuning in, Simon. Appreciate you, man. I really do. And I got you. 18. Yes, please. Man, if they had If I only had a Solo X18. Now, a gold letter 18, that would be pretty cool as well. And, man, hey, you never know. You never know. You never know. Thank you for tuning in, Sound Doctor. The doctor has arrived. We got 54 people in here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, just hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. And I want to see how many we got all together. Wow, 52, 58. That's a high all together. Man, you guys are awesome. Irvin, what is up? PA in here. I'll see you there if you're traveling out, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. I hope you've been well, man. I really do. DD21, where's Blake? Blake will be here. He's running a little bit late, but that's Blake. El Fuego, max vented volume for 1 comp gold 15 is 5 cubic feet, where the max vented volume for 2 comp gold 12s is 4.5 cubic feet, 2.25 cubic feet of area each. Right, and that's like the kicker recommended spec, and that's the thing where, you know, you can have different size woofers and stuff like that. Here, let me show you. I have this up here. I might as well talk about it a little bit here. All right, so with the cone area, I had it planned for whenever I was over there. Thank you for liking the stream, Eric, and appreciate you. And we got a little calculator here. And the ones that are highlighted in the same color are pretty close to the same amount of cone area. And this is exactly what El Fuego's talking about here, is the 15 is close to the 212s. You know, not even cone area, but the amount of airspace required. And there's more than just cone area. That's the thing, because cone area is one element of a speaker design. So whenever you have, you know, the effective travel of the cone and just everything else, that's where, you know, how big does the box need to be? So it kind of works out very well where you can have a 15 in 5 cubic feet or 2 12s in 4.5, which is really close to that. But then you're going to need almost twice the power, technically, because now you have 2 motors, 2 coils to power instead of 1. So is that trade-off benefit for you good enough to do that? And hey, it might work, you know? You might only have 4.5 cubic feet of space to give up and still have the enclosure work properly like it's supposed to. So there is always that. Thank you, El Fuego. Appreciate you, man. And I need to throw these up onto the on the website here. I have the round calculator and a square calculator. The square calculator, there is not a single, there's calculators, but there's no charts for a square cone. And I need to put this on my website because there's a lot to talk about. And the same thing with just a square versus a round. But I don't really want to get super into that, but I do want to touch on it because it's very important alongside, you know, subwoofer size, because we're talking about cone area and everything that goes alongside with that. Thank you, guys. Eco Outdoors, I'm running an L7-8 at 2 cubic feet in a new Super Duty tuned to 32 hertz, and it sounds amazing. You know, I love those L7-8s. I have one right over here, and I had it in Kayla's car, but then I had to pull it out for an L7X12. But that's pretty much what I have. It's around 1.9 cubes, 8-inch, tuned around 31 hertz, and it is awesome, man. I wish you could see that a little bit better. It is awesome, and it sounds very clean, and it plays low, but that's where we're going to be testing over on the other side of the studio, pretty much. Just why, you know, why does it play low, and those kind of factors alongside. But let's get to it. Thank you for tuning in, Eco Outdoors. Double E, what is up? VL City Kicker better than round sub. Well, if we're talking just cone area, I mean, a 15 L7, a 15-inch L7X here is technically the same cone area as 2 12s that are round by 1 square inch. And that's where, you know, the square sub kind of makes sense. If you got, you know, 2 squares, 12s, that's bigger. That's 288. That's over 50 square inches more than the 212 rounds that are the same size of the 15. So, I mean, it's not that they're better. It just, I mean, if you're just trying to get more bass and the same amount of plane space on one panel, that's the way to go. Thank you for tuning in, Roger. Just wanted to stop by and remind you that you are doing a great job, Andy. Thank you, man. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate you for that. Keep up the great work, man. Love the content and smile every time I see those numbers go up. You got this. Thank you, Roger. And, you know, a lot of work went into this show for tonight. And I'm just happy there's a lot of eyes to see it. And thank you so much for your kind words and tuning in and being one of the guys, man. Thank you, Roger. Dubby is asleep. I mean, Dubby is on the Australian current or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I know he's playing with Sony Explodes over there. You got any L5s? I don't actually. I have an L5-15, but it's just sitting outside, and it was not one of my first kickers, but I think it was like the second or third, and I can't let go of that one. It's the 2006 L5-15, the silver with the silver. It's very cool. All right, cool. Let me switch so we can walk over to the studio and do the testing portion of the show. We're only 20 minutes in, so that's pretty good. Let me let this connect. Okay. There we go. Now we want wireless. Yes, we want wireless. I'm going to turn this down. Oops, sorry about that. Got the mouse there. Got my cheat sheet here. Bubba is probably playing Once Human. Yeah, probably. Let me know how the mic sounds. Make sure this is working before I start just blowing speakers and we don't got any audio. And I got the background noise cancellation off so you guys can actually hear the kickers kicking. So that's how I have that. I'm going to donate you my L5-12, the silver one. Heck yeah, dude. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. You know, you can never have too many kickers, especially here, and I can't wait for my Volvo to be done so I can do some more just SPL tests with just different kicker speakers. It's a big vehicle, and just, you know, just have some fun, you know? Who doesn't like to do that kind of stuff? 148 with an 8. What? Holy moly, that's pretty loud. All right, let's move over here. We need this camera over here. I do need to grab my phone, actually, so I'm going to set this right here so I have that. Let me go back and grab my phone because we're using the phone as a test tone generator. And I don't think I'll need anything else that's over there. Everything is up and fired, ready to go. We got, you guys got to check out my contraption I got here. We got 2 computers. We got, I can control my other computer on the other side and the mouse. Well, I actually got the mouse's switch just because. And then obviously here for this computer with the SPL lab and everything else, we got the switcher over here. I've been doing so much stuff. We got this so I can just check out the charts, throw that stuff up. We can look at the camera over here. It's just a lot went into this, and I hope you guys have fun tonight. Thank you so much for just being here. And all right, cool. Oh man, this mouse is going wonkers here. Why is that going wonkers? All right. Cool. Budget Audio with Jay. Andy, on a real note, your show is the only show that is drama-free, and we all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's for always providing a positive show, brother. Thank you, Budget. And, you know, I have my core beliefs, and when I met the guys at Kicker, they pretty much paralleled, and the way that they handle things is the way I want to handle things, and it makes me strive to do better. And right, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's better to, you know, you can do that in the side chat, but whenever you're doing a show and trying to help people, you got to keep it as positive as you can. And thank you so much for that, and appreciate you tuning in, man. Let's see. Bingo, Jay, all clear and good. Awesome. Thank you, Sound Doctor. Appreciate so much tech. Andy living in 2050. You're telling me this is why I can't sleep. It's a Frankenstein build. Pretty much is, but we switched from StreamYard, so we had to do some extra things, but the stream quality should look a little bit better. All right, so let's fire this thing up. I'm going to turn on the amplifier. On the back here, we have the SX250 and a 650.1 here. Now these are both prototypes. I got the case off it right now so we can clamp it and stuff. But these were sent from Bubba, from Mr. John Myers, and I use these all the time for just, you know, musical listening, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what, let me just use this amplifier and test this stuff. So let me turn on one of my power supplies here so we got some juice. Even though we got tons of batteries in here, we could technically play for a long time. We're not using too much power, but at the same time, you know, keep the voltage up. Thank you, Eco Outdoors. Kicker has been so great dealing with them for 20 years. Even when I was 16 and would call tech, they would help me out, and my warranty subs I blew. And that's the best thing, I think, when you're buying a Kicker product. Yes, you want the sound. Yes, you want the quality. Yes, you want the output, the efficiency. But what comes down to it, and I think is the biggest difference maker between them and any other brand, excuse me, no questions asked warranty. You know, we all make mistakes. I know with certain products that are, you know, electronical, and I buy, it's like, well, if I'm not buying it from like a big shop store or whatever, Best Buy, whatever, and it's not Amazon, I'm not a guaranteed, you know, warranty more than 30 days, I should really know how to use this product. Well, with the Kicker stuff, I mean, it definitely helps to know how to run that product, but if you don't know right away and you make a mistake, they'll take care of you. And I know they extend that warranty even longer when you use their Kicker power wire kits when you purchase that subwoofer amplifier order all in one, and they take care of you. And they'll figure out what's going on so that doesn't happen again. Dang, man, I said almost the same exact words. My core values align with those. I want to be around. We both make each other better. Absolutely, Will. Absolutely. You know, negativity does feed views, but it doesn't make a good place. It does not. Thank you, Will. Appreciate ya. It worked. Good. 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 Thank you, John. Testing. Hello. All right, see, it's doing something here. It's doing something. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you. Keith, how you doing now? Now let's get rowdy. Let's do it, Keith. All right, cool. So how I have this set up. Oh, yeah, Kicker giveaway. Enter that. You know the deal. All right, so I got to turn on the bass knob, the NGA wireless bass knob from Will, and get this going here. This thing's awesome. Wireless. This one doesn't have the temperature sensor, but it's a wireless RCA to RCA bass knob, and it comes in clutch for what we're going to do tonight. So let me plug this in here, and what we're going to do is do some visuals, okay? Because we're going to be talking about the FS of a driver. What is the FS of a driver? Well, the FS of a driver is simply this, a resonant frequency. And an easy explanation of what is a resonant frequency. Anything that is vibrating from, you know, like glass, like where you have, not from glass, that's my example, is whenever you're playing something like a speaker, and you see those videos on YouTube or something, and they play like 600 hertz or something by a glass, and then it breaks the glass. And the reason why is, well, that's a little bit more than that, but it is still, you know, making a resonance where the glass is flexing around that 600 hertz, and because that's its resonant frequency, and then it breaks. So with a speaker, it's a little bit different. You're putting power into something, but you have physical parameters with that driver of how it's built. So it's going to want to move easier on different frequencies. With a subwoofer, it's lower frequencies. You know, tweeters, mids, they all got their different resonant frequency. But what we're talking about today is subwoofers, so it's low wasted information. And I do have a few other things, but let's just do some sweeps. And I want you to look at this stuff, because this one over here, let me pull this over here. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? All right, so this is the 10 gold, and this one has a resonant frequency of around 41 hertz, and this is the 12, and this has a resonant frequency around, I think, 38 or 37 hertz, and this one here, this is the 15, and this has a resonant frequency around 31, 33. I forget which. I do have it over here. Let me take a, oh, see, all right, let's do this. I have it right here. And then let me pull this up here. Boom. Okay, so the 10, yeah, 41, the 12, 37, the 15 is 33. And how I'm reading that right here is this. 33, 37, 41, the FS of the driver. Now, there's a lot of other factors that go into what makes that kind of happen. It's not just that, but that's like a total factor. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is we're going to play some sine sweeps, and we're going to see those numbers. But there's one thing I'm not going to tell you right away, because you're going to notice something, and I want to see if you guys notice. I'm going to actually change the frame rate on the camera so you see the flex better. So let me pull that up. On 600 tickets in, he's entering the giveaway. Thank you for tuning in, Baba. Appreciate you, sir. 32. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Baba made it. He made it. He made it. Budget Audio with Jay. Give them thumbs up, chat. Andy is the man. Remember, if Andy gets 2,000 thumbs, he is the cookie-eating ditch cookie monster. LOL. Thank you, Budget Audio with Jay. Hey, 2,000 likes. That'd be something crazy, huh? I'm fine with 50. We get all 50. That's great. Appreciate you guys. Let's get rowdy. All right, is that a 2 ohm or 4 ohm? Now, with the kicker gold, great question. These are all 4 ohms. So how we're going to do some testing, there's a lot to this. Show's definitely going to be 90 minutes-ish. With this here, I have them, they're 4 ohms, correct. But that's 4 ohms per coil, so they're a dual voice coil, 2 ohm or 8 ohm. Now, for wire and simplicity, so I can just whoop, 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 and test each individual one as well, I got them all in series. Series, and then I think, yeah, series together. So we're at like 32 ohms, but it's fine. Especially because we're doing free air. You don't need too much power. And one thing I do want to note as well with this, I know it's not scientific because it's technically not suspended in the air. The gold has the pull venting here. So with it being sitting there on that mat there, it is, you know, blocking some of that. So, but it still gives you an idea. So let's get to it. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you. And Wade, the moderator from Kicker Club. Thank you for tuning in, Wade. I appreciate you, sir. And that guy, I just want to give him props real fast. We had like 1,300 requests. And he went through all like 1,200 in 2 days. We're back up to like 200 again. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate your help. And thank you for being part of the Kicker community, man. You are awesome. Thank you so much, sir. All right, cool. Now let's do it. Let's do the sweep. And I'm going to put this back on. See, I keep moving around here. Let's go to SPL Lab. And I'm going to have the hold off. So what we're going to be looking at is just the speakers moving. I do need to adjust the frame rate. So if the quality looks a little less good, that's why. All right, frame rate is adjusted and ISO and shutter is set. So we can see this move a little bit better. We're live at 30 frames, but we're going to try our best here. So let's just do some sine sweeping and get this guy going. Yep, we are moving. Got the bass knob here. Let's turn it up some. What volume are we at on the phone? All right, so. All right, yeah, that one's moving a little bit, huh? All right, now we're going to get some rolling shutter. But I want you to look at these subwoofers going, right? And this right here is the frequency it's playing right now. Now, obviously, below any of their FS is going to unload a lot. But look how that 10 is not moving as much. And then these ones start to move. Look at that one starting to move. And then, you know, this one doesn't move as much. So what we're going to do is test it. Let me do a little bit less power. I know it was a lot more noticeable without the camera, but I can still see it. Like this one right here wasn't moving. Now it's starting to move. you'll see this one here move more around 41 hertz. This one, now, that's what I didn't want to tell you earlier, is this one is very broken in. This one is not, and neither is this one. This one's brand new. I played this on low power. This one's really broken in, so it's actually resonating a little bit lower for some reason, and I think that has to deal with the break-in process. It's fully broken in. When I'm pushing on this one, super tight, and this one's, it's still tight, but it's like you can tell. I played it, I put a CX1800 on it, I had some fun with it. So let me know if you guys can see that happen. See, we're playing down below the frequency range here, and they're all kind of gonna move. Now, once that frequency starts to go back up, we're at 15 hertz, you'll see this one start to move the most around 30. And then you'll see the 12 start to move, then you'll see the 10 start to move. Look at the 10 starting to move now. Actually, I'm using the wrong sweep. That's why you can't see it. There we go. I wasn't going up high enough. There we go. Let's do this again. Watch the 15. But see how that 12's moving really good? It's because it's broken in. Look at the 10 not even moving. That one's moving more. Now look at the 10. Now the 10's going to start moving. As soon as we get higher in the frequency range. Look at that. Now the 10's moving. Because it's moving more now because it's getting closer to the FS and these ones are moving less. Is that not crazy? Now, what we can do now is I can keep letting that play one more time, and then what I can do is set it up for each individual one, and I will show you on here. I think the airspace for 6 comp golds, 12s in my trunk, in my tracker. Yeah, I mean, I think these are around, you know, normal 2.2 ported seal. Now, that's a whole thing too, you know. Are you going to be running ported or sealed? And does this matter as much when you put it in a ported box? Well, kind of, not really, sort of. Now, if you build so big, you know, you can still make a 10 play low, like a 15. But the problem with that is maybe it's just gonna need a very large box to be able to do that, compared to the 15 with a naturally lower resonant frequency, able to dig down lower easier. It's smarter to just use a bigger woofer, one that has a lower FS. Just because it's a bigger woofer doesn't always mean it's going to have a lower FS or how much is broken in. That makes a big difference. I was like, you know what, let me break these two in. I was like, you know what, no, that's something I can talk about and kind of go over. I think that's really cool. Wallet B pillar. All right, cool. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to wire these guys. Let's just do it singly. See, this right here is our main wire. Here, we'll just do... Oh. Let's see. Over here. There we go. There we go. Let's disconnect all these series runs so that we can do one at a time. The back is just the series runs of themselves. So let's do this 15. Appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out with me. This is fun. This is fun. All right, cool. Let's see. Awesome, awesome. Let's do that same sine sweep now, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this here. And I'm going to... Oh, let me just pull this up here. It's so much easier. I know it looks stupid with two mice, but we make it work. All right, so let me stop this. And what we're going to do, we got the 15 hooked up, and I'm going to put this on minimum power. And the reason why I'm putting this on minimum power is to actually show you where it's using the least amount of power to be as loud, but it's not measuring output. We don't have a meter. We could do the meter, but that's not very accurate. Now, is it? So what we're going to do is just pretty much look at the box rise. Yes, the box rise. So let me get this playing. And we're going to start that. Now it's going to, see, it's doing 26 watts. This is the frequency. That's the ohmage, the ohmomatic. The higher the resistance, usually the highest resistance or the highest voltage here is going to show the peak resonant frequency. 31. Wow. 31.1. 31.1. And, oh, well, now see how it's going to disappear because now the power's the least because it's not playing. That's why when I do these tests here, I literally have to be playing at 15 hertz when I start so that that power is greater, because once it goes to the least, it's going to erase that score. Let's do it one more time. 31 hertz. Can we get it again? Can we get it again? And again with that voltage, man. Look at that. Least amount of power. 29.3. See, we're still pretty close, but I was going to do the 12, but again, since it's broken in, I mean, we could do it really fast because you're going to see it's not going to do 37. It might. I don't think it will. What do you guys think? And that's the thing with TS specs. Are TS specs done post break-in, pre-break-in? It depends on the manufacturer. And they're all going to be a little bit off, but still, it gets you an idea of how that driver's going to react. 31.5. Yeah, they're wired at 8 ohms right now. They are wired at 8 ohms. All right, let's reset this. Oh, stop. Reset. All right, so now we're doing the 12. Get the power going. All right, we're at 16. 20 hertz. Man, that thing is just going. 27. 29. 29.3. And I think what it has to do is, let me stop this for a second. I think it's too much power, but let me just turn it down a little bit, because that's pretty much what we're testing for, is the resonant frequency here. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Appreciate you guys hanging in. Yeah, lots of ohms. Ohmomatic. There we go, 31. But that's the crazy thing is, the resonant frequency is supposed to be 37. And this one did right on the money. It did 31. Now let's do the 10, and I'm going to show you the difference with that. So let me pull this over here and stop that, and wire up the 10. Let's see here. You know, I woke up today and I'm like, man, I don't feel the greatest. I'll be fine once I get on live here. And ain't that the truth? All right, now watch this one. The one that's not broken in. The one that's not broken in. All right, and frequency starting. Now this one's FS is 41 hertz. Is it going to be higher than 31? This one is not broken in like the other ones. And look at that voltage. Voltage and ohms. And well, watts too, but we'll see what's it going to be at. And it might not be 100% accurate because we're talking just a few watts here. Wow, 40. Bingo. 40 hertz. You know, anybody could technically do this and figure out the FS and double check everything, especially from a manufacturer that you're not 100% certain on if that rating is correct. But that's the thing too. That's why I didn't break in the other ones. Whoa, I'm so used to that button over there. Come on, Ernie, over here. Let me turn this color back up so you can actually see me here. I just did that so the camera looked a little bit better on the subwoofer moving. There we go. All right, cool. So, oop, we're good. That's why I didn't want to break it in, because if I did break all of them in, the numbers aren't going to be exactly on it. So maybe Kicker does do it pre-break-in, and then the post-break-in, that resonant frequency could drop. I don't know for certain, but the two that, this one I never played until I put it on this table. Haven't put much power to it. The 10 I had underneath there, just playing music, nothing crazy. But the 12, the two 12s I had moving. Like I was putting a lot of power to them. Broke them in, played them for a long time. And the resonant frequency of those ones is a little bit lower. And I feel like that's the same thing with the L7X. The L7X has a resonant frequency around 40 hertz, the 12. And people are like, ooh, that's high. How's it play low? I think whenever you start to break it in, that resonant frequency might drop a little bit. I'm not 100% certain, but I learned a little bit by just having this demonstration here of showing the resonant frequency free air. Now, when you put it into an enclosure, when you put these subs into an enclosure, with the sealed, I think this has the biggest difference of how that system's going to sound, of the resonant frequency of the driver you're putting into a sealed enclosure, because of that back wave spring limiting the speaker from moving, and with the resonant frequency, I don't know just how that works. With a ported box, you're really telling the driver where to unload, because of how big the port is, how long the port is, how big the box is in relationship of that port, and a lot of other factors with boundary loading, of course, but that also has something to do with sealed. So what I'm trying to say is it's more important to know this when you're messing with like an SQ setup with sealed. Sure, you could do a ported, but that's, I don't know, port delay, whatever. Someone in the comment section is going to be like, you can do ported with an SQ system. Sure, with all things, you know, within reason, but still, I think it would be a little bit easier with a sealed box. But again, if you got a driver that has a high FS, it might be harder to dig down in those lows. With the sealed box, it's not extraordinary, like just huge. It would have to be huge to be able to play low with a higher FS. So there are a lot of things to take into account whenever you're, you know, buying a subwoofer. You know, yes, the size matters, but with that size, there's also the resonant frequency of what that speaker is going to play naturally better. You know, an 8 or a 10, like this 10 is 41 hertz, it's going to have a little bit harder of a time to play lows naturally compared to the 15. You know, the 15's going to want to play lows easier with less restriction. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the FS. There's the, you know, QTC, the QES, the QMS, a lot of factors that go into speaker design. But it's still cool to see it in action, what that number means, and then put it into account of, man, do I need a 15 or should I get a 10? Because, well, I could have two 10s. It'd be the same cone area as, you know, what, close to 3 10s or something. No, 3 10s would be 160, 200, no, 240, no, 80, 80, 80. 80, 80, 80 would be 240. So that'd be like close to a 15 square. But then that 15 square is going to have a natural lower resonant frequency compared to those 3 circle 10s that have a higher FS, so you might have to design differently. So it's not always just about size that matters, it's that resonant frequency and how that subwoofer is designed and made to perform alongside of everything else too, with excursion, you know, an L7X versus a kicker comp. You know, you got, yeah, it could be a 10 versus a 10, or whatever, an L5, an L7, an L7R versus an L7X12, but the L7X12 has twice the amount of throw as the L7R, so does it make sense? You might need more power. There's so many factors that go into everything of picking the size and the type of driver that you're going to run, but I think this was pretty cool to just demonstrate and have a good time of looking at speakers and watching them flex and stuff. All right, Cookie Monster. If you got any comments I missed, throw them up, please. What'd you do that? Sure thing. Okay, thank you. Could have just gave me a thumbs up or something. Kayla should be yelling about now. You know, I do test this at like 2 a.m., you know, just... I'm like, okay, I can't have it here. It's going to shake everything apart. I got to put it here. And I had to put the carpet down so they wouldn't jump around and everything like that. It's just a lot of work putting it into this show. But it was fun. Nobody in bass needs a bass seat. Jake Boro, thank you for tuning in. Just got myself a custom box made for my Subaru so I can still have my 15 and still have a functioning back seat. I got one of those hidden enclosures with a sub on the bottom so I can still stack groceries. I love the downfiring enclosures, man, because you could just stack stuff right on top of it. And you still got a back seat, you still got whatever, and it's like, yeah, it might take away a little bit of the bass, but man, we had the 12-inch downfiring kicker comp loaded enclosure. You can get them at Walmart. Pretty cool. And we just had the whole pilot stacked, you know, going on vacation, suitcases, refrigerator, and it didn't sound that much quieter compared to having nothing in there. And I think that has a lot to do with the downfiring capabilities of where the sound's going and what's down below. I'm on top of my back seat, so I'm already kind of, you know, up in the air, so it's already kind of firing down. And how bass travels, so how those downfiring enclosures work is really cool, and I think they definitely have their place of who's going to need them and what they're for. Now, is it an SPL kind of build? No, but it's still, you get a lot of bass in a very small space, and you don't have to worry about, hey, do I need a grill? Do I need to move my subwoofers closer to the trunk so I can put things behind them? Where am I going to put everything? You don't have to worry about it, and it's the best feeling. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see here. Excuse me. I've always been curious what tolerance is. We're going to put this here. Make sure you enter. I've always been curious what tolerance is for TS parameters. Too much glue on the dust cap could affect those numbers, so how wide of a tolerance do manufacturers use? Now, I know Jake and Blake are going to be like, listen, TS specs mean nothing. They do, but they don't, but they still will give you an idea of how that driver's going to react. Now, when you put a lot of power on it, did you see like how I was saying, I got to turn the power down? Because it changes things. You know, it's not, when they do the TS specs of the resonant frequency, that's 1 watt. 1 watt, 2.81 volts at, what, 4 ohm or something? Not actual, like, 10 watts, and with the speaker moving really far. So, with the amount of power applied, I feel like could change the resonant frequency because of the electrical factors involved with more power, one, and with the control of how that electromagnetic field is being generated to help control, and how that motor is designed with how far it's going out of the gap compared to being inside the gap. I feel like there's a lot of factors that get involved when you're talking about this stuff. So when you're building an enclosure, I feel bad for those box guys, because it's like you can get close, but you can't get perfect. And, you know, I know people say prefabs get a bad rap. Well, maybe the ones on Amazon. But when you buy the kicker ones, they kind of know. Like, they built the speaker and they put it in different stuff, and they kind of can get you really close to what's going to sound good and also fit in a lot of vehicles. Now, with the quad box, they didn't have to worry about size restrainment. And that's where some prefabs might get a knock, you know, in the negative comment section. Just because they got to make them fit into every, you know, trunk or hatchback. Well, not every hatchback, because I can only fit 10s in my Eclipse. That's the 10 preloaded enclosures, but still, you get what I'm saying. They can't build maybe as big as they would want to. So there are limiting factors with that. Either way, man, it's pretty crazy how, you know, we got close. Now, if we didn't break it in, whatever. But right. When you're putting these speakers together, are there tolerance issues? And I feel like, you know, yes, a lot of brands have no problem with it, but maybe some do, because, excuse me, They bought off of somebody to manufacture them, and then they got somebody else and they did it differently. So then they have to change all those TS specs again and redo testing, or, you know, somebody messed up, you know. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in your enclosure, in your system. But could it be a difference maker in some degree? Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like every speaker is made differently, man. Cameras usually have such a hard time keeping up with the fast movement. I know they really do, and that's why I tried my best to adjust some things so that you guys could see the flex. I tried. Let me know how it works, how it worked. 40 hertz feels worse for me. You know, it's that higher bass, man, and I feel like why the higher bass hurts more, not that it's hurting your ears, because it's still way below your natural. Well, your ears have a tuning, right? You got your ear canal, kind of acts like a port, enclosure tube. It's around 3,400 hertz tuning, 3,400. So, and it's just crazy how that's perfect for vocals. I don't know. By chance or by design. Either way, perfect for vocals. And when you're talking subwoofers, it's the same thing, where you have a subwoofer that's playing way below that tuning frequency. It's not as loud. Well, it's the same thing going into something. Those 3,000, 4,000 hertz frequencies are going to be loud coming through because everything is going through that port that's in your ear, that your ear canal, and how that works perfectly with less resistance. It's that tuning resonant frequency going through that. And when you play something below or above it, it's not going to be as loud. And bass is not around that, nowhere close. So it has not really much to do with loudness per se. Yes, there's pressure, and that's what your eardrum feels, but we're talking about frequencies and sound. I feel like it has more to do with the resonant frequency of like your freaking ribs and your lungs, where, you know, it's just creating that pressure, and it's closer to that than 30 or 20 hertz is. And that still will rip your face off, windy, knock your ears off, but it doesn't hurt your chest. And I feel like, again, that comes down to resonant frequency, or your head, or your eyes. You know, I'll be bumping down the road and you can't see anything, and then you play something louder at 30 hertz and it's fine. You know, your mirror's probably gone, but you can see a little bit better on those lower frequencies. And I feel like your body is just closer to that 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hertz range of effectiveness on you. So yeah, I get it, man. I definitely get it. Thank you, Kyle. I'm grilling burgers during the live show. Enjoy your burger, CAE. In my experience, just because most subwoofers can play the notes doesn't mean it will sound the same. Each will hit different. Some folks prefer different punches. And right, you know, everything is designed in a way to be that type of subwoofer, and some just aren't. Some just aren't, and whichever one works for you is the one that works for you. Thank you for tuning in, MMC. Appreciate you. Yeah, Blake is missing. I don't know where Blake is. Pono, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, sir. Kicker fam. We got the whole Kicker fam here tonight. Chad, Green Team member. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Where's it at? Sean, Richard, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man. Doing well. Had fun doing this show tonight, and I feel like I covered mostly everything. I feel like I talked about a lot of other stuff, too. Is Cone Area king? No. I mean, it helps. You got bore and stroke. Mr. Kip Litzy said it first, and it's embedded in my head, bore and stroke. And we talked a little bit about excursion, and, you know, there's other drivers that can move more. So, yeah, you can move more, but it also depends, you know, of the resonant frequency a little bit, just because you might have to add more power around other places or whatever to be able to play as low or play as high. So it has something to do with picking the subwoofer. Excursion has a lot, though, of just output potential. Now, without trying to bring in the SQ side of things of how that speaker replicates the sound, how accurate it is, I don't know. You know, people believe that certain subs sound better to a point. I feel like if you have a very drastic difference of, you know, maybe an L7X versus a Kicker Gold original, yeah, you might hear a little bit of a difference, you know, just how that sounds, you know, and it does come down to the enclosure too, but just in general, you know, some things are just designed for certain things, and that's the point. So I wouldn't say Kona Aries King by any chance, but it helps get you there a little bit easier with less because you got more. We talked about the resonant frequency example. We did that. How many versus how big? And, you know, I kind of talked about that a little bit over there of, you know, with El Fuego's question of, you know, you might be able to do the same amount of output with 2 drivers that are smaller compared to 1 that's bigger. But then naturally, there's more to it than just that, because you got all kind of curves and just how that speaker reproduces the sound. But generally speaking, you're going to need more power for the 2 drivers just because there's 2 of them. Now, does it need more power compared to the single one? Well, that depends each sub. You know, these are, you know, 500 RMS, give or take. And I feel like, you know, maybe the 10s might not need as much than the 15, you know, the 12s, and up. But you still kind of get the idea, you know, you still need double. And is that double more than that single that's bigger? It still might be. So you might need more power. So just to keep things generally speaking, because this is a very tough subject of just talking about, you know, speaker sizes and not having Steve Irby sitting here telling me, because I don't know everything, and or any kind of speaker engineer, Aaron Surratt, I would love to have him on in a future show. That guy is super knowledgeable. He will tell you why your subwoofer kicks, you know, just A to Z. All right, space available. We did talk about that. Done. See you guys next week. See you next week. Where is Garrick? I don't know where Garrick is. Hit the like button. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys tuning in, hanging out. Man, we already did that hour. That's crazy. All right, cool. I don't think I need my phone. We can turn this down here. We need this, and we need this. Let's go over here, back to the other side of the studio here. Cool. And I think we're good. Yes, caught up on the comments, sort of. And good. Awesome. And it's too late to enter. Let's do the giveaway. Now I gotta turn my gain down because I know this is gonna be jamming. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're nice and loud. Come on, Lady Luck. He wants it rigged. He wants it rigged. Thank you, Bubba, for being here and tuning in all the time. And it's Kipalicious. Thank you, man. Oh, what'd I do? Ooh, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, you didn't hear any of that. I did. I'm like, what the heck did I do here? All right, so let's do the giveaway rigging, non-rigging, ribbed rigging, something like that. And get your guys' prizes, and we'll get out of here. If you guys had any questions about what I talked about tonight or anything like that, drop it down below while I'm doing this. I'll take a look at it. And appreciate you guys have been here from the beginning to the end. You guys are awesome. Let's do this thing. Okay. And 50 potential users. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? What I'm going to do, because I know you guys like it loud, I'm going to turn the background music up a little bit louder. Not too much louder. Let me know how it sounds, if it's even loud enough. I messed with some compressors on the music end so it wouldn't get really loud randomly. Oh, would you look at that? That's a good one. Would you look at that? Hashtag not rigged. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so we still got 5 on Facebook, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. guys are awesome. Unless that froze. All right, cool. Uh-huh. Oh, would you look at that? Let's see here. Uh-huh. Thank you, Sean. Oh, yeah. There we go. You know, sometimes you see the same name and it's like, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Ones that tune in all the time, random ones, and then they start tuning in just to win the prizes, and then they come away learning something, and I feel like that is the best thing, man. That is the best thing, because that's why Kicker does what they do, to bring you guys in, to help make you sit a little bit longer. You know, because it's hard to keep anybody's attention nowadays unless it's under 10 seconds. And, you know, maybe negative just media. It's easier to watch, trust me. So thank you, Kicker, for doing this, because I feel like with the giveaways, it definitely gives you guys some incentive to always tune in every Tuesday. And, yeah, it helps them, but, I mean, you guys learn something. I've always learned something from watching a Kicker show, you know. I know sometimes they like to do infomercials, but I love the infomercials. I mean, look at the studio. I mean, yes, Kicker Swag. They always got new stuff on there. And so it's interesting to me. But, right, you know, most of the time it's something substantial. So thank you guys, Ernie and the gang, Steve, for making it happen. And just thank you. All right, cool. I'm John Gotti on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, man. And I don't know if you're on Facebook, on my page, or the profile. Either way, appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, you got to smash the like on both sides. I know Dave be doing that. I think he just likes smashing the like all the time.
Just hit the like.
Just hit the like. I'm not lying. He does, man. He goes, YouTube, smash the like. Facebook, smash the like. Appreciate you guys. Hey, thank you, John. And, man, you know, to be a teacher in some degree here is such an honor, and I take it with respect. It's like, I don't want to talk out of my rear end sometimes, you know, of things I just don't know, but it's like I need to be able to bring something to the table that you guys can learn, and I try my best to bring up good content and just quality stuff. So thank you, man, and I'm happy that I was able to help you. That's the job here. Call that a job if you want. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate you for that, man. You know, I have fun doing this stuff. You know, I was doing it before, the whole YouTube stuff, and Kayla's like, why don't you just start, you know, doing a YouTube channel, like, with what you do? It's like, okay, so thank you, Kayla, just for that. We all know that. But, yes. Everyone I talks to says, preference, should I put my voltmeter between my amp and power wire off the second battery or my first battery? My amp came with a clip meter already. Well, I will answer that as I type these in here. So, with having... Hold on. There we go. We got to go this way. Yeah. So, with having a voltmeter in the front or the back, is there a difference? Yes. Do you need to have them both? No. But it would be cool to know until you already know your system, and then it's kind of like, well, I don't really need the front one anymore. You know, I already know what it's doing, and it's okay if I have a serious problem, the back's going to relate that information to that voltmeter. So to try to keep it simple is I would make sure you always have one in the back, you know, like right at your amplifier. You can have it at the battery, but there's also voltage drop between your battery and your amplifiers that you might not know it's there because you got extra, 6 foot of wire just rolled up over there and causing excessive voltage drop, and you think your voltage is better than it is, but it's really not. So the best way is to read at the amplifier. That's why I like the Warhorse or any amplifier that has a built-in voltmeter, because then you know what the voltage is inside the amplifier. That's even better, right? But yeah, if it's a little bit easier, sure, you can put it on the rear battery. I've done it, but, is that voltage drop going to be a big difference if I have it 1.5 foot zero gauge on 2,000, 3,000 watts? Not really. So it does work, but it is cool to know kind of everything. So I've had a voltmeter on the front and the back, and it works. It's like, okay, I'm 14.5 here, but I'm 13.9 in the back. What's up with that? And that way, there's an issue, and oh, wait, yeah, let me get rid of this isolator. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, we're at 14.4, now 14.3 in the back. That's a lot better. That is a lot better. All right, let's do it. I thought I could do both, but I wanted to answer that question at the best of my abilities. Oh. All right, we're going to leave that one there because we know that. Thank you, Donald Logan. I share your videos to my friends that always ask me technical questions, and I can't actually show them so they understand it. Thank you, man. I tried to shorten the format with the live streams down to whatever. Eventually, when things slow down in my life, if I can, I do want to just have videos explaining stuff. Quick segments, not shorts. God. Shorts are cool within reason, but just like, 0 to 5 minute videos explaining something, getting to the point. But that's why I do the live streams twice a week, man. Hopefully I can find someone here and they got their question. Just drop it down below and I'll try to answer it to the best of my abilities. But thank you, Donald Logan, and I appreciate that for doing that, honestly. Thank you. Thank you. 1800 CXA or 1600 KX? I think you asked this question before on Kicker Unmasked. That's I feel like it depends, but honestly, they're pretty close. L7X15 1 ohm sub, which amp will make it hit harder? So is it the dual one, or is it you're going to be wiring at one with the dual 2 L7X? So either way, I think, if you're at 1 ohm with the dual 2s, it's whatever. And then if you're at half ohm, I feel like, the KXA might outshine the CX just because it has a bigger power supply section. So if you would wire down, so maybe it does a little bit more, even with the lower voltage drop. That's the biggest difference between the CXA and the KXA or KX is the KXA. Even though that the voltage is lower, it's still going to make rated power. The CXA doesn't do that. It needs that 14 volts to make rated power. But they do a little bit over, so it could still make it at like 13.8, 13.6. It'll still do it, but you're talking 12.2. It ain't going to do it. It's going to do like 1600 watts. And the KXA will do all 1600 watts at like 11.8, 12 volts. That's the difference maker there. But is that 200 watts really noticeable? I don't know. I feel like either is a great option, but the KXA's got so much more just bells and whistles to it with the control of Q factor and just that alone. The CXA is the middle budget entry to intermediate level amplifier, and it's just power, and it can work with integration of 40 volt pre-out going into it, so you can hook it up to everything with the iFit Plus. But the KXA version amplifiers just got more. They have more in them. And the price reflects that. All right, we got that one. Let's do the second place. Let's type this in here. You know what? If I feel like, yeah, we're just going to do that. Yep. And then third, there's my song. Okay. And then 50% off. Let's type that one in. Oh. Wait, spell. Yeah. What the heck? There we go. Cool. Got it all. Good to go. Let me take a sip of water here. Double E. Thanks for tuning in, Mike. You could, in theory, have 14.4 at the first battery, but due to losses, 14.1 at the amp. Bingo. Exactly. Exactly. And with having a voltmeter or anything that can measure things like statistics, just temperature, voltage, is the biggest game changer. Once you do it, you're like, how did I ever do it without this stuff? And it just gives you a clear indicator of any problem that you may have and where it's coming from and why faster than without having it. Always had the 1K top amps, but now I got a huge power garden hose. You know, you got to make that power. You got to have power to make power, but then you also have to have the power wire to travel that wire, power through the wire to make the power. And yeah, thank you, Jake. Appreciate you. All right, cool. Why I currently enjoy playing, I enjoy moving in like remotely control cars or maybe drones. Okay, cool. Let's do this. All right. And thank you, Kicker, for making this happen. Oh, yeah, I think, I covered literally everything here. Everything. Yep. I covered it all. I did it. I did it. I did it. Thank you, guys. All right. So, third place. TW1s. Earbuds. They work. And they sound good. And they're wireless. No wires at all. And a Kicker swag pack, the t-shirt, Kicker Unmasked shirt, koozies, the lanyards, the whole nine, whatever they wind up throwing in there, they hook you guys up. Third place goes to... Oh, I did this again. I put it slower so you could see it. Goes to... Charlene P. from Dallas, Texas. Congratulations, Charlene. Thank you for watching and appreciate you entering. Congratulations. And Kicker will be sending you guys an email for that. Just make sure you verify your medium shirt. Second place goes to, well, we can't forget the EB 400s. Second place goes to, oh, would you look at that? We know this guy. We know him. Donald Logan. Congratulations, Donald Logan. Yes, it's rigged. I mean, fair. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, smashing the like. That's how we get you guys in here. No, it's totally random, this Kicker giveaway. But we tend to think it's a little rigged, but ribbed. You know, like the speakers. I mean, you got to have rib surrounds. You do. Just look at them. I mean, it makes it sound a little bit better, right? Makes it sound good. Thank you, Donald Logan. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, being here, and showing the support. And yes, it is. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you. And thank you for just being here, tuning in, hanging out. All you guys, I see you guys every time. Thank you for being here. My wife won. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? I'm just throwing it up just because I want to look at it.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this
look
way,
at it.
okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
That's what he told his wife. Would you just look at the kicker.com/umweekly giveaway and enter, please? Just take a look at it and look at that. He won. Congratulations. And she's not allowed to give that to you. That is definitely hers. Cornette tried pulling the same thing on us, and we said, no. It's going to Dawn. It's going to Dawn, not Cornette. Congratulations. All right, and 2 more prizes. We got the first place BF100 and the 50% off discount code still to give away. So let's do it. The Bullfrog 100, first place goes to the one, the only. Oh man, no way, Uncle Bobby B.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
It is rigged. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's a random number generator thing. I'm telling you. You gotta believe me. Congratulations, Uncle Bobby B. You get the Bullfrog 100, and thank you for always supporting Kicker, man. Thank you so much. And thank you, Donald Logan. I appreciate the technical information. Thank you, Kicker family. Thank you, Andy, and One Big Umbrella. Thank you, Donald Logan. Right back at you. And congratulations, man. You're going to like the EB400s. And Uncle Bobby B, congratulations. A Bullfrog 100. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? And we got one more prize to give away. We've seen 2 viewers drop. They forgot about the 50% off discount code. Let's do it. 50% off discount code for anything at kicker.com. Literally anything. A Schmedium shirt to an L7X to, well, pretty much anything. Goes to Mel G from Bryan, Texas. Congratulations, Mel. I will be sending you an email with the discount code, one-time use, but anything at kicker.com, 50% off. And Ernie, we need more codes. We're out. Come on, hurry up, Ernie. We need you. We need you. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you so much. And I'm just glad I made it through the show. There was a lot to talk about, and I feel like I covered a lot, but there's always more, and we'll talk more about it this Friday. And thank you guys. And without further ado, I'm not going to keep you guys here forever. Thank you, Kicker. Would you look at that? And JJ Brownlee just subscribed. Thank you, JJ Brownlee. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. And I know the show's over. It's all right, Mullen. There's always next Tuesday and Friday and Tuesday and Friday and Friday and Friday. Stay living loud. I'll see you guys on the next one.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Talking to Dubby, yeah. Did you say explode? The explode and then give it away? I mean, we could do that. You know, we could do that. Thank you, Double E, for gifting memberships to the Green Team. Appreciate you, man. Is that better?
Livin Loud with Andy.
Thank you, Bubba. I had to do it for you guys. I had to, man. And you just got to look at it. You just got to look at it. And thank you guys for supporting the channel, always being here and tuning in. And oh, BT's trying to take it. He got it. I'm going to say, oh, no, Cornut. Are you kidding me? Oh, and Bubba's stealing it. Stay living loud, y'all.